Hey, this is Matt again, and in this tutorial we're going to cover the third assignment, the Music Concrete assignment. And what you're going to do is use some found sounds. And what I mean by that is some sounds that you have gotten from various places that aren't necessarily musical. And there are three different sources that I would like you to get your sounds from. The first is your own voice. So if you go into the assignment, you'll notice that I mentioned the Haiku generator. And so I'd like you to just go online and pick a haiku with one of these generators that I've embedded within the assignment. And record your voice with the laptop. Doesn't really matter. You can clean it up. You know how to do that. Not concerned about sound quality, more about how you work with the material. So that is the first thing. The second one is that you're going to use the generate function within Audacity to make some cool sounds. And then the third one is you're going to go to an online resource like Freesoundorg, or you can get sounds in the lab. So let's check out the haiku first. I'm just going to go right into Audacity and start recording, and I'm just going to forget about it because we can always edit this stuff out later, right? And if I go to the haiku generator, we'll just go with the first one. And if you don't like the first one, go with the second one. Blood gnaws, poet pause, coldly, heartlessly, onion emerging dimly. Blood gnaws. So you might want to give it a couple read-throughs so you have some cool words to work with. And now I'm just going to go back into Audacity and go back to the beginning because we can always edit this stuff out later, right? So I'm actually just going to swipe this and delete it. You know what to do now. Do a little bit of cleanup. You might want to create a duplicate and mute the original and minimize it here. And then you can just start grabbing words and creating a new track, just like you did in assignment 1. So you can use the swipe tool to grab a phrase. And let's just preview this one. We'll just go with the first one or not the first one. So actually, this is nonsense. I think my first read is over here. Blood gnaws. I'm just actually going to use that mistake here. And I'll show you a cool trick. So I'm going to use Z, as we've done in the past, to cut at 0 crossings. And then I'm going to drop this guy down on another track. And I'm just going to use this as a little loop. And it's not as easy to loop using Audacity as it is in other programs like Pro Tools and Logic and Ableton, but you can do it. So one thing you need to be aware of is if you double click a region, it'll select it magically. You don't have to swipe, and it's a really clean select. That means if you did a good cut and cut on 0 crossings, you can loop this without having weird pops. So what I'm going to do is use some key shortcuts here and use Command C on the Mac to copy the region. And then if you have the region highlighted, you can use your arrow keys, right and left arrow, to go to the beginning or end of the region. So now what I'm going to do is use my arrow key to arrow to the end. And then I'm just going to do Command V and paste, arrow key, Command V. And you can get really good at this. Arrow, Command V, arrow, Command V, arrow, Command V. You got the idea. And we'll zoom out and you can see that I have a cool little loop. And then you can actually join this back together. We can just highlight it and Command J, as we've done before, will join, and then we can listen to it. Up, 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 up. So now we get to start having a little bit of fun. So this fun takes place in the effect block. And we've talked about compression and EQ. Those are kind of the boring ones. You feel free to use those too. But some of the fun ones were this one here, reverse, that I did in class on the first day. Ba, 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 ba. So you can get some pretty cool, strange stuff. Let's go to another one. Sliding time scale pitch shift. This is a weird one. You can have it start really slow and then have it speed up over the course of the track. Let's see what happens. And you can see that it has done something. Ba, 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 ba. You can affect the same track many times. Now let's do something cool like add a reverb. You can play with these sliders. you'll notice that on all of these effects, the wet gain is the process signal and the dry gain is the original signal. So let's just turn the dry gain way down and we'll process this. And you'll hear a reverb now. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I heard a little clip at the end of that. When you process it, sometimes it prints it to the track. So you might have to go in and fix that little clip at the end using your cut at zero crossing tool, or you could do a little fade out. I'm just going to leave that for now, and I'm going to go back into my haiku, my actual haiku, and I'm just going to grab something else, and I'm going to do that same little move where I copied it and pasted it. And let's do that here again. So this is going to become my little sound collage. And for the end of the project, I want at least 12 tracks where you have sounds that you've butchered and arranged and done cool stuff too. So this one here, I'm just going to pitch this one. And so I'm going to join it together and use my pitch shift tool here. The speed will actually slow it down. And when you slow things down, it also changes the pitch. Change pitch is independent. This is always a cool one. Easy to use the slider and make it sound really dark. Let's give it a listen. Blood Naz, Poet Pause, Coldly, Heartless. So yeah, it's already starting to get pretty cool and strange. Off to the races. You don't even have to select the whole track and print it. Sometimes it's fun to select little regions like this and then put some little effect on it. Let's use a phaser right there. Let's maybe use a phaser here. Oh, how about not a phaser? How about something else? Echo? Why not? And then let's listen to this. Pause. Coldly. So that was hidden pretty far back in the mix, but go crazy. Just have fun, and let's move on to the next place that we need to examine, and that is the generate dropdown. And these are the Nyquist plugins that come with the Audacity program. I've actually loaded some additional ones, and I'll walk you through how to add these in here. So if you go to the main Audacity page and go to downloads and plugin libraries, these cool Nyquist plugins have some great generate noise functions. If you go here to the plugins, and then there's a complete list of optional plugins here on a wiki. And if you scroll down, you'll find all these cool ones that I've gotten. It gives you a list of the ones that it comes with, and then there are a whole bunch of other ones that you can download. And it's a little bit time consuming. You have to download each one individually. So when you go into the page, it'll tell you something about the author, which is cool, but can be a little time consuming. And you can preview some MP3s of a lot of these. And once you get these, you have to, and download them, you have to drop them into your Audacity folder. Let me show you how to do that. So you go to your applications folder and then go to Audacity, and you'll notice that there's a Nyquist folder. You actually don't want to put your Nyquist plugins in here. You want to put them in the plugins folder, and many of them have this suffix .ny, and they're usually really small files. Drop the plugin in there, and the next time you reload Audacity, it'll put it in the right spot. It's kind of like magic. So go ahead and get some of those. Don't spend too much time. I've spent plenty of time developing my little library of generate functions, and I'll continue to. But let's just show you a couple of them that are kind of cool. Here's one, the surf. This is sort of a famous one, and it sounds like the ocean. So you'll notice if you try to drop this onto a track that is a mono track and you have a stereo sound selected, you'll get this error message. So let's do that again. I'm going to regenerate, go to oxygen. So you have to use this slider up here, and I'm actually going to put this on a mono track and hit OK. And you'll notice that we have some new data emerging dimly. So yes, there we go. You can see this one was kind of cool. Let's say I just want this. I'm going to do drop it onto this other track. Let's mute this one and minimize it. And then I'm going to use my mover tool. The whole concept here is to do a sound collage. And then you can butcher these sounds too. But there are a whole bunch of different ones. So fire and explosions, harmonic noise. Hey, let's just do another one for kicks. You can run into problems if you have a region selected already, because it'll print that new effect onto that region. So if you select off of your track, you can generate a new track, or I'll just swipe a region that I have blank on another track, and I'll hit generate, and let's just go harmonic noise. So now I can just do Command D really quickly, and it'll drop it onto a new track. And then this I will delete. That's another way to do it. There's no right way to edit here in Audacity land, but let's just listen to my little sound collage here and see what it sounds like. Oops, go back to the beginning, play. Blood Nas, pause. So one thing you'll notice, watch the output meter here when I hit play. Blood Nas. I get a substantial amount of clipping, and you can see with these large waveforms that it's a little bit of a problem. So I need to turn these other tracks down. So you can use these individual sliders. You can actually pan things over to the left or to the right ear, and you can have a little bit more control. So let's go back to the beginning and give that a listen. Blood Nas, poet pause, coldly, heartlessly, onion. Okay, so yeah, there you're off to the races. The third thing that you need to do is go somewhere like Freesoundorg and get some crazy sounds and drop them into Audacity. And let me show you how to do that. I have a small collection right now. I actually have this hiding in my Logic folder, but I just created a random sample folder, and you can see there's a few things in here. And let's see here. Ooh, old vinyl. So actually I'm just gonna drop a copy of this on my desktop here. So pretend that you got this cool sound and downloaded it. All you have to do is drop it into your file, into the dark gray area, and it will drop it into a new track. Audacity, sometimes it zooms automatically for you. I didn't want it to, but it's okay because you know your zoom functions. And let's give solo this out and give that one a listen. So cool old vinyl sound. Let's give the whole mess a listen here. And this is halfway to being done. Blood Nas, poet pause, coldly, heartlessly, onion. So yeah, pretty deep. Like I said, have fun with it. Explore the generate function, the effects. Don't get lost. Have fun on freesound.org. Remember that it's free. You do have to sign up and give them your email address and some other information. But once you're in there, it's a great source for sounds. And let me preview that for you, actually. There is an important point. The website now has a region. Let's go over here. When you go to a sound, let's say we want this power plant in Texas. Oh, cool. There's something called the Creative Commons over here. And this is important to check out. This work is licensed under the Creative Commons. All these sounds have different Creative Commons licenses. So if you select it here, you can read what the author has let people do with it. So this one says no copyright. You can pretty much do anything. It's public domain. Some people say you can use these for educational purposes, or that you have to credit the author, but it's always good to check the legal aspect out first before you start grabbing sounds from here, just so you don't run into problems when you become rich and famous and you have to make sure that all of your samples have been rightfully obtained. So freesound.org, this is I think one of the best ones out there right now. Okay. Happy editing, and we'll see you next time.